sent him the pictures, no caption, no nothing. I just sent it to him. But I purchased his Apple Watch. It's okay to be that dumb because one day you will grow up and be 26 years old and laugh at that. It was a fresh out the slammer by Taylor Swift situation.
She caught him cheating and didn't say a word. Instead, she sent him screenshots of his own messages and went silent for hours. While he called frantically, she was by the pool, every belonging packed in her car, waiting for him to come home and face what he'd done. The device that exposed everything, an Apple Watch she bought him herself.
What? What the fuck?
But this story gets so much darker than just catching a cheater, because Megan Moroney admits she stayed in this toxic cycle on purpose for the songs. This is the story of how country star Megan Moroney used an Apple Watch to expose her cheating boyfriend. And when you hear the full psychological breakdown of what happened, you'll understand why this isn't just about technology. It's about the twisted psychology of modern relationships and the price of turning your trauma into art. But before we get to the Apple Watch trap, you need to understand the level of delusion Megan was operating under. The signs weren't subtle. They were neon billboards that she chose to ignore. She found a long piece of brown hair stuck to his shower wall and convinced herself it came from his short-haired head. She saw nudes pop up on his Snapchat and believed his old photo excuse. The mental gymnastics were Olympic level. Here's what makes this even more twisted. Megan admits she was listening to Call Her Daddy during this entire relationship. She was walking around the University of Georgia campus in her Block Him hoodie and unwell hat, fully aware of what healthy relationship standards looked like, yet completely unable to apply them to her own life. It's like being a relationship therapist who can't fix their own marriage. And with one move, Megan was about to put herself in a position no cheater could escape. The Apple Watch synced to his phone, which meant every text message, every notification, every late night, "your door is locked" message from other women was now accessible to her. She wasn't snooping through his phone anymore. She was reading his messages on her own device, the device she paid for. She had turned surveillance into a present. Think about the power dynamic here. Every time he looked at his wrist to check the time, he was looking at the device that would eventually destroy their relationship. And he had no idea.
So I send him that, no reaction. He's calling me a million times. I don't answer. I wait until he's done at his event and has to come home and deal with me. I have packed up all of my belongings, put them in my 2010 Mustang at the time, and I went to the pool.
The messages she found weren't ambiguous. They were late-night conversations about locked doors and meetups, the kind of texts that leave zero room for interpretation. It's just texts where they went out and oh, your door is locked, like that sort of stuff, she explained. And when she finally saw the evidence that confirmed everything she already knew, she didn't scream. She didn't cry. She did something far more calculated. She waited until he left for an event and then systematically packed every single thing she owned into her 2010 Mustang, every piece of clothing, every personal item, every trace of her existence in his space. Then she crafted the most devastating text message in relationship history, screenshots of his cheating, sent with zero caption, no explanation, no accusations, just the evidence. The silence was the weapon. The screenshots spoke for themselves. But here's where Megan's revenge plot becomes truly diabolical.
Burn his home down. Smile and take a selfie.
I was like, leaving right now is not good enough.
No, you need to relish in it.
Yeah.
Just like, hi, babe. The crazy eyes. Like, did you get my text?
Instead of leaving, she positioned herself by the pool and waited. Picture this scene. Him returning from his event, probably expecting a normal night, only to find her lounging poolside in a bikini, all her belongings packed, his phone buzzing with missed calls he knows she's been ignoring. She had flipped the entire power dynamic. He was the one walking into an ambush. She was the one holding all the cards. His reaction was exactly what you'd expect: panic. He called her a million times while she sat by that pool, probably watching his name light up her screen over and over again. But then comes the plot twist that makes this whole story even more psychologically complex.
And honestly, can I be really honest?
Yes.
I simped and I stayed that night.
I made him dinner that night.
He said, no, I'm so easily manipulated.
After all that planning, all that evidence gathering, all that strategic positioning by the pool. She stayed that night. I made him dinner that night, she confessed, laughing at her own contradiction. Wait, what? After catching him cheating? After packing all her belongings? After the pool power play? She unpacked and cooked for him? Her reasoning reveals something deeper about toxic relationship psychology.
I knew if I left, I would have to go home, and I wasn't supposed to be home, so my mom would ask me why I was there, and then I have to get the mom involved.
She didn't want to go home because then she'd have to explain to her mom why she was there. I knew if I left, I would have to go home, and I wasn't supposed to be home. So my mom would ask me why I was there, and then I'd have to get the mom involved. The fear of family disappointment was stronger than her anger about being betrayed. It's twisted logic that makes perfect sense when you're living it, but sounds absolutely insane when you say it out loud. This is where Megan's story becomes a masterclass in relationship patterns that so many people will recognize. She admits she's someone who gives people 8,000 chances to show me that you're not the one. The Apple Watch incident didn't end their relationship immediately. It just poisoned it slowly. They continued for 2 more months after the pool confrontation, both knowing exactly where they stood. Shortly after that, our relationship was never the same, she explained. It did take like 2 months before it finally ended. 2 months of limping along with the Apple Watch evidence hanging over everything like a toxic cloud. But here's the most brutal part of this entire story. Megan was playing a longer game than just catching a cheater. She's devastatingly honest about her motivations. There are times where my friends have scolded me and I've been like, no, the content we are going to get from this is going to be spectacular. She was literally telling her friends to watch her destroy her own mental health because the songs would be worth it. She once texted her manager, "We're going to get a good song out of this. Also, make me a therapy appointment tomorrow." Think about that for a second. She was simultaneously booking therapy to deal with her trauma and booking studio time to profit from it. This is the dark side of being an artist in the streaming age. Sometimes the heartbreak is worth more than the relationship. Sometimes the song that comes from your pain is more valuable than the person who caused it. Her producer, Christian Bush from Sugarland, was the one who finally forced her into therapy. He kept saying that to me. I think I would come in with like crazy ass stories and he'd be like, "You need therapist." Like, great song. She was literally showing up to recording sessions with fresh trauma and turning it into hits. The Apple Watch story inspired her song, "I Sleep on My Side," but it was just one piece of a larger pattern. She admits to being probably the most emotional, sensitive person ever, who cries over guys, and then turns those tears into chart toppers. But there's something almost admirable about her honesty. She's not pretending to be healed or evolved. She's not selling some empowerment narrative about how heartbreak made her stronger. She's just saying, yeah, I stayed in toxic situations for the art. Yeah, it fucked me up. But also, it worked. She describes herself as easily manipulated and admits she's a simp when it comes to relationships. One thing about me, I'll give you 8,000 chances for you to show me that you're not the one, she laughed during the interview. The Apple Watch story isn't really about technology or cheating. It's about the lengths we go to for proof of things we already know. Why it's about turning gifts into weapons and love into surveillance. It's about the way modern dating has turned all of us into detectives in our own relationships. But most importantly, it's about the cold calculation that sometimes comes with heartbreak in the social media age. Every fight is potential content. Every betrayal is a possible viral moment. Every tear could be a hit song. Megan Moroney didn't just expose her cheating boyfriend with an Apple Watch. She turned that Apple Watch into a career move, that pool scene into a power play, and that entire toxic relationship into a stepping stone to stardom. And honestly, that might be the most savage revenge of all.